Alright, what is going on, people, and welcome back to another episode of Arcs of All Evolved Max Speed. Today we're going to be taking a look at my pick, the player. This is going to be a good one. Since I did the last player, there's been a lot of changes. They actually nerfed the player's movement speed per level from 2 to 1.5. However, we didn't previously test with focal chili or any of the diseases. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be killing off my old character, spawning in a new one, ascending to the alpha level so that I can have all 115 levels for movement speed, giving myself swamp fever from a disease leech, as well as lamprey poisoning from a lamprey only found on aberration, with focal chili and a full tech suit. And all I have to say is buckle up, because things are about to get weird again. So, as always with any survival game, you wake up on a foreign beach stranded somewhere and you look down at your right arm and find a specimen implant. But we don't like that one. That one's just a dull little obelisk-shaped, diamond-shaped implant in our arm. So we're going to go ahead and enter this command right here to make it so that we ascend to the alpha level. So, it's going to play us the credits here, and then all we got to do is hit end, wait for our little prompt to come up to respawn our survivor, and we'll have all 115 levels ready for our waiting command so that we can just spawn in and give us all the levels we need for maximum movement speed. Welcome back to Ark. It's a great game. It's not broken. Why are you saying it's broken? Anyway, moving on. Now we're going to go ahead and spawn ourselves in some... Ugh. I've been in the game for 5 seconds. Leave me alone, you stupid birds. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and switch off the time of day to an earlier morning so we can actually see our enemies. In a fit of rage, I'm going to go ahead and add myself into creative mode. We do actually have our specimen implant in our arm now for the alpha ascension level, thus unlocking all 15 bonus levels for ourselves. And I'm going to go ahead and give myself a tech sword because I feel like that's a little bit more appropriate for the foe that we're dealing with here. You can see up in the very leftmost corner of our inventory, our specimen implant looks different now, which is good. Throughout the course of this video, I'm going to be spawning myself in some element so that I can use this tech sword, and I'm actually going to equip myself with the full tech suit so we can kind of test. And can I say up front, does not change the amount of movement speed that you have with the tech suit whenever you are, whenever you're at max movement speed. I guess the player doesn't really like that if you honest very much. I put on cloth originally, but I'll switch it in a second, or a hide originally, but I'll switch it in a minute here. So, why would you want to do maximum movement speed on a player? I don't know. Do you like getting hit by bullets? Probably not. Do you like being able to run faster than bullets? That sounds good. That's a good reason for max movement speed on a player. For real, if you've ever played any PvP in Ark, and it's very split. I've never seen a community before in my entire life that is so... I hate PvP, or I love PvP. I play all the PvP, I play none of the PvP. So, I mean, there's a good chance that 50% of you have no idea how PvP in Ark works, and the other 50% have over 10,000 hours in the game. But movement speed is incredibly important. If you're able to run faster than everyone else and just detonate explosives and shoot people without ever having to take a hit from them because you're too fast and you're just jumping around with your 500 stacked parachutes, there's a good chance you're never going to die. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do here is spawn in myself a diseased leech. There's a spawn command for this one, so I'm quite lucky. But for the lamprey, I should probably explain first. Swamp fever, when you contract it, will give you 20% bonus movement speed. And when you see I open up my inventory here in a second, I will... You don't see it yet, but whenever I open my inventory to level myself, you'll see my base movement speed is at 120. That increases the amount of movement speed we get per level from 1.5 to 1.8, similar how an imprint will influence the dinosaur's movement speed per level. So that's how that works. I'm also going to spawn in some lampreys from aberration. There's only a 2% chance that any of these will give me the disease, but we get incredibly lucky and get one on the first try because there's no spawn command for a diseased lamprey. It's just any lamprey could give you the disease. You don't know which one it's going to be, but we got it first try. So now our player has lamprey poisoning, swamp fever, focal chili. He's going to have a tech suit in a minute here, and this poor abomination is suffering, is all I'm going to tell you. He's not having a good day. I apologize for all the obscene sounds that his bowels are making throughout this video. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and give myself all of the gear required to complete this tech suit. You can see the lamprey dangling around. Interesting with the lamprey. They'll also give you a charged effect, so for the 10 minutes that they'll stay attached to you, it will make it so that you are under the influence of charge, which, if you play on Aberration, that's a very good thing when they're nameless and Reaper Kings rolling around and you don't want to get ambushed by any of those. Not so great if they're Seekers. If they're Seekers, it'll probably make you want to commit Sudoku. But otherwise, you know, charge is good. You can't turn it off, though. That's the drawback of having a lamprey being used as your charge pet. So, I have used the Focal Chili on myself, and now we'll be giving myself the movement speed. And oh boy. It's really fast. As you can see here, after all 115 levels have been put into movement speed, and we have a lamprey dangling off of our right pectoral muscle and everything here, we're coming out at a very high number. I think it was 318% movement speed. First things first, we have to dispose of these Ichthyornis. Pecthi? That's a really difficult word combination to say. Pesky Ichthyornis. So, you can see just how fast our player is now. I'm going to be switching between third person and first person periodically, but it is really fast. Similar to the Archaeopteryx, I think that your movement speed while using the jetpack in Arc is actually influenced by how fast you are when you take off. That's just a theory, though. I don't really have any way to confirm it, obviously because I'm on single player here, but it's a working hypothesis, and I think it's pretty interesting. But I'm going to switch between the tech legging, hold left control function, which you see me here do to get across the water in a second, and the regular sprinting. And there's not a whole lot of difference. There is, but it's much less of a gap than you would expect for the fact that our player is he is on absolutely everything right now. He's poisoned twice over. He's got a lamprey dangling from himself. He's surrounded in this ancient alien technology that is just armored up around his body, and this poor guy. He hasn't lived a good 7 minutes, but he's lived an interesting 7 minutes. So, Spinos still kind of have ADHD, but frame of reference, Spino right behind us, it's aggroed, and now it's not aggroed anymore. And that's kind of what max movement speed on a player is going to look like from here on out. As I get over to the shore here, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in an Alpha Raptor. The Alpha Raptor, I believe, is the 7th fastest wild creature in this entire game, coming out behind the Reaper, Gallimimus, Alpha Rex, and several other creatures. But I felt like it would be the most appropriate here, because Alpha Raptors always seem to be the fastest thing. I mean, I know that there are fast things, but the Alpha Raptor just seems so quick, and it doesn't anymore. It just doesn't. You can see here that without even using our tech suit, the player is well capable of outrunning this Alpha Raptor, and I'm sprinting. But I'm going to walk in a second here. As soon as I turn around and get this Raptor's attention again, I think I'm just going to try and walk away from it. And even that, will almost do it. So using the tech suit here, you can see we just make a huge gap between us and the Alpha Raptor. Part of the reason for that is the fact that, here's the walking. And then here's the sprinting. You can see there is a difference. It's not as much as you'd think, though. And the fact that you can kind of match an Alpha Raptor while walking is a bit terrifying. And I really didn't think that the player was going to be too fast, because of the fact that the last time we tested it was at 2% movement speed per level. Now it's only at 1.5, but there have been a lot of other changes that have really, really helped out with making this player unbelievably quick. You know, obviously, I'm Bagel. I do max speed, so everybody who I usually play on servers with knows of what I do, and as such, they're slightly more inclined to be making max speeds. And I've seen a lot of people level their players up to crazy amounts, but I've never seen anything like this. So after all these seconds, the lamprey poisoning finally runs out. I'm still not confident that it's stacked with the diseased leech, the swamp fever status, but regardless, it is insanely fast. Anyway, this weekend on Saturday, I'm going to be doing a server where we're going to be streaming an 840 base, or 840 max wild level, dinosaur level, hardcore Ragnarok PvE server with a couple of friends. So if you die, and you're going to die a lot when the base, or the max level creature is 840, you're going to get reset back to 1. So anyway, it should be entertaining, but thank you all so much for watching. Leave your suggestions in the comments below, and we'll see you next episode of whatever we make. Thanks for watching. Peace.